there, and welcome back to Scrap with Penny, where paper meets story. Today's layout takes us to a galaxy far, far away. Well, okay, maybe to a theater near us. This is a storytime layout, which means there's no process video, but I do love sharing some of my favorite older layouts and the stories behind them that make them so dear. This one documents an unforgettable night, the premiere of Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and the joy of watching it with my son, a lifelong Star Wars superfan. So this is going back to December 2015, and the buzz around this movie was massive. Who knew, so many years later it would be so popular? But we got there early because you couldn't reserve seats back then, and we were determined to get the best seats possible. And we didn't go to just any theater. We chose to see it in IMAX. The sound, the screen, the energy in the theater, it was electric. Now, if you've never been to one of these big movie premieres, especially for Star Wars, there's such a cult following, and there was cosplay in full force, no pun intended, and it was really pretty exciting to just be in the lobby and wait for the doors to open. And we settled up against the wall and started early on our popcorn. So movie hype aside, this layout is really more about my son, Philip, who's loved Star Wars since he was little. He used to play with the Star Wars micro machines when he was 3, and he would create little battle scenes all along the carpeted floor. And he even had that Death Star that popped open and was multi-level, and his little, he called them maskers, lived in there. He called them maskers because the little micro machine was a little character mask, and it popped open and there was a little character inside it. And over the years, he's kept his love for Star Wars alive and collected and kept a handful of meaningful figures. And he has a room in his house now where some of the best ones are carefully displayed, and he loves that room. He's watched all of the originals, the prequels, the animated series, you name it. And this movie itself kind of felt like a new chapter, not just for the franchise, but for his journey as a fan. He's a college student and really settling into what he loves and values. And when we realized that he'd be home on college break for the release date, we were all so excited, like full on hype. It was like the stars had aligned, literally. There is something extra special about seeing your kid fully immersed in a world that they just love. So that night he was decked out in a Force Awakens hoodie and hat, both official movie release merch, and he was all in. And the joy on his face, totally real. And I'll just tell you now, someday there will be a sequel to this story when I can ever get around to scrapping the opening of Galaxy's Edge. So let's talk design. I wanted the layout to feel a little bit cinematic and be true to the vibe of Star Wars. So I started with a dark background to echo the mood of a theater and to let the photos really pop. The yellow, black, and gray tones are a subtle nod to the movie title itself and that iconic crawl text across the screen on the opening and ending credits. And then, of course, the color of the villain hood itself, Darth Vader. And so I wanted to get as many pictures on here as I could, and so I arranged the photos close together. This is actually a generation sketch, and it's one of their kind of like a life documented sketch where this page is oriented toward a pocket page, and then this is like the feature page. So these photos right here kind of look to me like maybe frames from a film strip, and then over here I used journal strips for movement, almost like action lines across the page or those rolling credits again. And the title was easy to pick. It had to be The Force Runs Strong, big and bold, cut out on my cameo. and it was just like the moment of the movie premiere itself. And, you know, it's a little nod to his inherited Star Wars love and lore from his dad. Around the edges, I tucked in some Star Wars icons, all cut with my Cameo, just enough to capture the energy of the night without overwhelming the layout. And my papers, my beloved October afternoon B-sides, came in clutch. I've got this gray stripe from Girl Talk, this black and white star from Witch Hazel, this little pattern is from Seaside, and then this larger geometric over here is from Summertime. This is from another October afternoon collection. I just couldn't, as is this, I just couldn't easily identify it. In addition to those October afternoon papers, I did some hand stitching to really bring out the focal point of the elements themselves, and I've got some banners for some repetition, moving the color around the page, and then this 3-layer title is using that Jedi font out there that is free. This layout doesn't just document a movie premiere, it kind of captures a milestone moment in a fandom journey, and it's a reminder that memory keeping isn't just for birthdays or holidays, it's for the stories that light us up, that we carry from childhood into adulthood, and that we share with the people that we love the most. I hope that you enjoyed this little story time look into a layout that's dear to me. I created the layout in 2022 about this 2015 movie premiere because some stories still need to be told even though time has passed. I'm wondering if you have a Star Wars fan in your life or some other movie night that meant something big. We love going to the movies, and I love this picture here because as a mother to sons, I tried really hard to stay relevant to them and with them, and so I did go see all the Star Wars movies with them, and I did go see all of the Marvel movies with them when they were home, and it helps foster a connection. A night together at a movie is something that was always a very bonding experience for us. In fact, when the 6th movie in the original series released, we pulled the boys out of school and went to see it as a matinee. And that's a fun, memory for us. Just a quick thank you to my subscribers and an invitation, if you haven't yet, to hit that subscribe button. It would be great to have you part of this community and getting notifications about upcoming content. It seems like I should say, may the Force be with you, but I'll close by saying thanks as always for hanging out with me. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. I'll be back soon with more layouts, videos, and a little stash busted magic. So please come back and crop with me. Until next time, happy scrapping, and remember, this is where paper meets story. Bye-bye.